YSPN! Exclamation point! Well, we finally made it. The last week of school!
Hi! What a whirlwind it's been. And the last couple of weeks has been a double whirlwind. Capital W. Here's two capital W's. WHIRLWIND. Yeah, check this out, peeps. Activity days?
Beach blanket boogie! 4.
Okay, maybe not. And 5, 6, 7, 8. Dance recitals. Yeah, whatever. What about baseball games?
Bugs.
Aw, cute.
Ooh, slimy.
Yaks. Oh, look, a bird. A plane. What? A fire.
Yikes.
Don't forget about Japan Day.
Hey, Fort Snelling.
A 10 hop and march. 2, 3, 4, left, 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 right, left.
Did you know in the 1800s, soldiers lined up in a single file line, shoulder to shoulder, while they marched?
Like the Rockettes. Hey, those high heels could be considered weapons too.
We tried marching together and it was not pretty. Our single file line was not so single file. Can you imagine having to do your laundry like that all the time?
You know, Fort Snelling just opened for the summer, May 29th. This year's opening was surrounded by debate and protests.
Why?
Because there's a debate over what the site really means to our history.
The Minnesota Historical Society operates the fort. This is what they have to say about the fort on their website. The story of Fort Snelling is the story of development in the U.S. Northwest. While surrounded today by freeways and a large urban population, Fort Snelling was once a lonely symbol of American ambition in the wilderness.
Now, here's what the Take Down the Fort protesters say. The Dakota people consider the site their sacred, ancient homeland. They say that's where the Dakota people were created.
Okay.
Well, they also said it's a site of genocide, which means deliberately murdering people of a particular race or creed. During the U.S.-Dakota War of 1862, the Dakotas report that 1,700 of people, mostly women and children, were marched to the site and held in a concentration camp. About 300 died during the winter they were captive there. They are upset that the Minnesota Historical Society doesn't communicate this part of the fort's history to visitors, so they want to see the land returned to the Dakota people.
What would they do with it?
It says here they want to demolish all the buildings and return the land to a pristine condition. They would like to see it as a place of prayer and remembrance of their ancestors' creation and later of their suffering.
Bill Snodgrass of Fox 9 News reported that Fort Snelling's spokesperson said, the fort's program discusses the War of 1862 as part of its look back on the state's history. The spokesperson also said the protest was a good thing because it stirs discussion. So, let's discuss.
Meow. How does it make you feel when you've been to a place but you don't know the whole story about it?
It makes me kind of mad that they would tell you all this stuff and leave out an important piece of information when you think you know everything, and then somebody just comes and tell you, oh, they did this too, and then you're just like, they didn't tell me that, so you're kind of mad.
Well, in school, the reason we went to Fort Snelling was because we were learning about the Civil War in school. And before the Civil War, they had this thing called the Trail of Tears, but that was in the South. So we knew about Indian removal, but we didn't really know about it at Fort Snelling.
On our field trip to Fort Snelling, they didn't talk about the Dakota people being held prisoner, but they did talk about Dred Scott's time at Fort Snelling and its role in his efforts to become a freed slave. Do you think people at Fort Snelling should have told that story?
Yes, I do, because that's a very important part of Fort Snelling's history, and people need to learn about that because it's really important and it's quite interesting.
Hey Jesse, do you think the fort should be given back to the Dakota people?
I don't, because sure they had it first, but technically the person that owns the fort owns it now because it's been there for so long. people are going there and thinking, oh, it's Fort Snelling. We're going to be learning about history.
Do you think both sides could compromise? Do you think both sides could compromise?
I think they could compromise by having the Indians come to the buildings and be part of the history, and then they just don't tear down the round tower and all the historic buildings that have been there since we've been alive.
Longer than that.
I know.
Wow, that's some heavy stuff. Let's lighten the mood.
How can we do that?
I know. With a